Hello, hello. I got this package in from Blade HQ. I'm going to open it up with the Artisan Cutlery Ahab. And what we've got in here today is a couple of sharpeners and one knife. So we'll look at the sharpeners quickly and then move on to the knife. Okay, and all of this stuff is from good folks at Spyderco. Got a sticker in here from Blade HQ. There's our knife. Okay. So, all of these things are items that have been discontinued as of 2023 from Spyderco's catalog, but are still in stock at several retailers at the time of recording, and that you may still be able to get your hands on, and at a discount to boot, because some of these things are discounted as they're closing them out. So we've got a couple of ceramic sharpeners. Ceramic sharpeners do not need oil or water. And this is a nice large surface for sharpening. Okay, with the rubber feet so the thing doesn't slide around on you. This is the medium grit, and then we've got a fine grit, which is the same thing except white and finer, less abrasive. Yeah, so these should be good for maintaining Spyderco and other knives. This is the medium grit. Got the fine grit. They do make an ultra fine, but I did not pick that one up. I think probably by the time I'm done with fine, I'll be ready for stropping. So let's move on to the knife. Dogtag Gen 4 plain. This is from Taiwan. And it's pretty tiny. This is designed by Serge Panchenko. It's non-locking titanium frame with a BD1 blade from Carpenter Tool Steel. And it is we're going to call that a Warncliffe blade. It's a straight edge and not really much of a point on it. Useful for any little cutting task. Could be a decent box opener. BD1 is a steel that people sometimes compare to 8CR or OS 8. I think that's underselling BD1 a little bit. BD1 should hold an edge a little bit better than those 8 series stainless steels. There's Serge Panchenko's maker's mark. And this is out of Taichung, Taiwan, which is where a lot of Spyderco's best stuff comes from these days. Spyderco has facilities in Japan and China and Taiwan and Italy and the United States. They manufacture stuff in all those places. The Taiwanese stuff has some of the best fit and finish, to be honest. Yeah, so how does this compare with other little similar knives? Well, just for size reference, here is a Dragonfly, Spyderco Dragonfly, which is quite a bit bigger. And here is a Spyderco Man Bug, which is longer and almost as tall. In terms of cutting edge that you get for that, you can see we're talking about just an itty bitty thing, not much of a knife there. I mean, plenty useful if it's what you've got on you, but not a lot of it. This reminds me a little bit of a Boker Plus Dogtag knife. Now this has got a little plunge lock magnet that it uses to lock in either the open or the closed position. This is a locking knife. This is, I want to say 440C. Yep, 440C. Designed by John Kubasek. From East Hampton, Massachusetts. This is also titanium. And 440C is probably a little bit better steel than than BD1. And it's just a tiny bit bigger. And it's got a clip point instead of that sort of what are we going to call that? Not a Warncliffe. We'll call that a no point. No point on the end of that knife. Sheepfoot. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll call it a sheep's foot. Here's a little bit larger, designed by the same designer, and this one has got a little bit more substantial grip, although, you know, it's still a little tiny thing. This has got sort of a chisel grind on it. It's got a bevel on one side only, and this is a frame lock. So the Panchenko is just a detent lock, double detent. So it doesn't actually lock, it just has some retention from the pressure of this little detent arm. It's on washers. And the other thing I thought of as being sort of conceptually similar was the SOG access card. The access card is from Seki City, Japan, and it's VG10 steel, and it has the arc lock on it, and a non-removable, or well, maybe it's, yeah, I guess you could probably remove this clip, but it's quite a bit bigger. Not really. I mean, it's thin, it's comparably thin, but not really a fair comparison. The access card is a little different than the cash card, which is the Chinese-made liner lock, or well, frame lock version of this knife, similar to the access card in proportions, but different lock mechanism, different materials. I don't know what steel this is, but it's not VG10. All right, so there you have it. I think probably the fairest comparison is with this little Boker Plus, and yeah, useful little. Oh, you know what else could be a reasonable comparison, I guess? The Corvid Mini from Concept, which is a flipper. And it's got about the same blade length, and it's cleaver shaped, so it's, you know, doesn't have a point on it. It's got a little bit of belly, which the Spyderco Dogtag does not have. It's a straight edge. It's got a choil, but it's not really a finger choil. I mean, you could kind of, if you have tiny fingers, you could maybe kind of get a fingertip in there, but it does have some jimping. And this is, I think, 154 cm. Yeah, the mini Corvette is 154 cm. And it does have a lanyard hole, and you could attach some chain, some ball chain directly to that, or you could get the dedicated Kydex sheath for this thing, Kydex holster, which has ball chain on it. So that's in the same ballpark size-wise. There we go. Tiny knife. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. I would appreciate it. And you'll see lots more knives if you do. Thank you. Bye-bye.